UCC coach Ben Noonan now trying to muster up some energy, banging his umbrella against the ground. Maybe performing some kind of rain dance, trying to get the hill back.
Anything to help UCC out. Curse everybody else at this tournament in the process. It's going to be tough for UCC to find a way back into this matchup. They do have a lot of athletes, but not too many people who've got reliable throws, certainly in these conditions. Not too many people at the tournament in general have reliable throws. Dunn is one of the best. Now GB looking to see this through. It's always interesting in these kind of tournaments, you can start to see the real standouts, like Van Zyl had fantastic play on that last point, and Daly as well. Like, who's going to be leading this GB team come the summer? If the summer ever does come.
Winter is coming. You gonna watch Game of Thrones? You watch Game of Thrones, Logan?
Winter never bloody left. It's supposed to be spring. I do love Game of Thrones though.
It's been the warmest year for water temperature in Ireland this winter.
Come on, do you notice that when the rain hits your face?
I noticed that when I'm in the ocean. I'm not talking about the water in the sky. I'm talking about the water in the sea.
Ah, yes, of course. That other place water exists.
I think it's been a pretty mild winter.
It's been horrible, though.
Well, obviously, it's always horrible, but mild. A mild horribleness.
So that'll be the experience that you have that I don't. I never really go into the sea.
Yeah, lots of things don't go into the sea. Giraffes, lorcan.
Not where the similarities between myself and giraffes end, as you see UCC go for the big shot and get the turnover again.
They got very long tongues, giraffes.
I also have a very long tongue.
Yeah.
And I enjoy eating leaves. And Dunn is back out on the pitch. So UCC get their leader out. And that one comes close to Healy. It was a difficult throw, the inside flick. But it works its way down the pitch. And again, that's Huck and D at its finest for UCC. 2 shots downfield and then GB turnover immediately both times. So just a bit of conversation between Lou and Dunn to see who's going to pick it up. Dunn. And that's what we were talking about earlier, where you just have to bury it in the chest of your receiver. You can see how frustrated Emma Healy was after not being able to get it to Brianna Healy. And that's much better from GB. Big Huck, plenty of float. Gilani underneath it, gets big, but Dunn. Oh, sorry, that's not Dunn. That's Kate Daly. Nice athletic block against one of the premier athletes on that GB side as well.
I believe Dunn has actually taken over her body in some kind of avatar move.
So Dunn launching that one vaguely at UCC players, but really just to get it down in the end zone.
Dunn sporting the waterproof trousers. Do you ever play Ultimate in trousers? I'm kind of a big fan of the trouser Ultimate these days.
It's one of those things that I always used to speak very disparagingly of, and then I did it, and oh, it's nice. Oh, and a huge flick hook all the way down. Gilani chasing after it and collecting it, putting her body on the line.
Incredible two-handed layout. The GB team flood the end zone. That was the play of the game so far.
So we see her chasing it down. Earlier on, she got beaten in the air by Daly. Paul Gilani, incredibly quick. You want to put those discs out in front of her so she can chase him down rather than hang them up, so she has to go battle for them. The only issue is that's not really a choice you get to make when it's this windy. Fantastic throw, though. So GB push out their lead to 5-3. So there's 65 minutes in this game. We are at the 57th, and that 2-point difference is a big one. The thing about cross-field wind is you can score in both end zones. It's just about who can deal with the conditions better, rather than the way like an upwind, downwind will just dominate the game.
This is true. I'm still trying to think about who really brought the trouser ultimate to Ireland. Who springs to mind as someone who used to wear pants all the time?
Staying focused on the important things there,
Yeah,
Liam.
I'm still thinking about my favorite pants players, if that's what you'd call them.
Well, I know it was Sir Alfred Pennycock who first brought trousers to Ireland. Obviously, up to that point, we all just walked around with our bottoms naked and had big woolly jumpers, which is where Aaron jumpers originated from. You had to keep it hot up here, so it was cold down there.
I'm pretty sure in Clare people just sellotape videos to them.
I thought they still did that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Stephen King may have been the...
Stephen King! Now there's an old Limerick legend. Giving him a nice little shout out. He was one of the first players I ever saw playing pants. Definitely the one I saw do it the most, the earliest. Because he always played in trousers.
Always. Middle of summer, roasting hot, trousers on.
No sense. I always felt like they made me heavier as well. As done seemingly very happy to throw herself around trying to stop that disc from rolling out of bounds. And just immediately, no qualms about it, just launches it deep. It lands just behind Emma Healy.
Yeah, I think with those waterproof trousers, you can actually build up a lot of static electricity, which possibly makes you jump higher. I don't really know how electricity works. Does anyone? But
No. Magnets, how do they work? Liam Grant coming up with the shocking facts for everybody at home. As again, we see another quick turnover. And done. I wonder what she's going to do.
I think she's going to look for the magnet hands of Emma Healy.
Put them in. There was a bit of a touch on that disc, which will stand to GB. I'm not sure if it'll count as coming back in. See UCC react, trying to set up the defense. There was an awful lot of float on that disc, all things considered, but it fell short of the receiver. But crucially inbounds. So UCC have to go back down there, and they are stuck on this sideline. And you know that they do not fancy themselves swinging it across, going for the break, and it just hits the ground. GB really starting to take control of this one, putting a bit of a stranglehold on it.
Yeah, Sinead not looking as sharp since that injury to her enchanted shin, which is where all her powers are kept.
Of course. There's Achilles tendon and then there's Sinead's enchanted shin. Daly. Into the middle. That was a great catch under difficult conditions. That disc going up. Done. Making herself known, knocking it away. No mark on. Has the freedom to go for it. And Emma Healy downfield. Still working very hard. Somehow. Realistically, it's just been done trying to throw it to Emma Healy for most of UCC's possessions.
And it looks like Gravity have won the other semi-final. And this one definitely still happening.
Does feel like GB are closing in on it. UCC would need a Herculean effort to get back into the matchup. 3.5 minutes left. Five-minute game. Let's see what Dunn can pull off. Excellent catch by Emma Healy, despite the hand block on the throw, still able to get there. Magnet hands attracting that one. And Healy back to Dunn. 2 completed passes. They're still on the sideline, but getting a bit of movement. And that one just bumped up at the last second, breaking UCC's hearts.
So Lorcan, this is my first time behind the mic this weekend. How many times has this juice comeback been mentioned on stream?
I've only mentioned it once.
Just the one?
Just the one. Now, I
once.
only did 3 games yesterday out of the 7, so I was actually pretty proud of myself. It's a big comeback. And Juice is a fantastic team, the first club team in Munster. That's a great throw from Dunn to Healy for the score. staying composed, able to get it.
Like, I think GB need to put 2 people on.
I was just about to say, at this point, just double teamer. I mean, it works in basketball. Make them throw it to some of the other players. There's some players out there like O'Sullivan, not to be disparaging them, they are good players, Coombs and stuff, but they just aren't looking to them at all. So you could sag off and make UCC involve those people. They don't want to as their first option. So 5-4, as we see that throw to Healy. And we desperately try to keep our tent in one place. So UCC able to get the score. A minute left before time goes.
About 2 minutes before our tent goes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Which ends first? This tent or this game? Just have to try and conscript a few volunteers to all physically hold the tent down. It's actually starting to get a little bit intimidating up here. Every time it was about to get too much, it did die down again. As we see GB lining up, ready to go. The rest of their team exiting. UCC's trying to stay in it. If they score this next point, they will push it to Universe.
A lot of money being made today by local wind turbine owners. They're the ones laughing now, looking.
The amount of bread you could make with a good mill in these conditions.
And if you're wondering why Cork teams are doing so well this weekend, it's because of the wind, because they're terrible, terrible teams when it's not windy.
Terrible, terrible teams, especially Rebel.
Yeah.
Talentless hacks is a phrase very commonly used to describe them. As you might be able to see in the background, Rebel men starting their semi-final. Taking on, I believe, the GB under-24 side.
Yeah, we're getting some double GB action right here. A lot of these players will need visas if they come to the tournament next year.
Oh, of course, yes. We're trying to avoid getting too political, but I'm happy to go there.
I'm there, mate.
I live there. Bit of satire to warm your heart on a Sunday morning. This could be the last time we enjoy the great British teams coming over to Siege of Limerick. Once the border checks come in place, Galani getting it and popping it back. GB still trying to play real ultimate against this zone and paying the price for it. So now UCC with a real opportunity to push this game to Universe Point. Is what they've been looking for. Done. Healy with a nice little cut, but great forcing. They're going to make Dunn just put something up and hope for the best. And she does so! What a reception! Bounces off the hands, but a great layout grab. When you've got options like that, why not take them?
I think she got that one on the second attempt. Amazing grab. Tried the isolation play, it didn't really work, so just puts it in the end zone.
Two defenders laying out to catch it. Fantastic stuff. Brings the game to Universe Point.
UCC still fighting.
This is very legitimately about to take us away. So, you know the way you were wondering about that hail, bro? I think we're about to find out what's over it. Clinging on for dear life. Siege of Limerick, baby. 2019. At least it isn't snowing.
If it was snowing, the tent would probably be way down by the snow.
Different problems, you know? So now this game comes to an exciting climax. 5-5. UCC went 3-1 up. GB responded with a 4-point run to go 5-3 up. Somewhat facilitated by Sinead Dunn going off, but they got the first two, and and were able to take advantage, get the next while she was off. Or even only one of them, she came back on during the second one. Then UCC remembered who they were, what they can do. The Huck and D came back into the fore. 2 in a row. Aided by GB's addiction to actually playing Ultimate rather than just sending it deep. As now the pull goes about halfway. That's a very impressive pull given the conditions. Here come GB, big important point. And interesting to see what kind of lines they stay out here. There's the turn and it's starting to roll. Difficult to get even one throw off. So now Dunn picking it up. If I was GB in this, I would just form a human circle around Emma Healy. Oh no, Brianna Healy even. Emma Healy isn't on the pitch. Which is a big loss for UCC. Archer tries to pick it up and huck it. Doesn't go very far, but you have to respect the attempt.
That was the right thing to do.
In this situation, I'd almost throw it laterally just straight into the wind, so that when it came down, it would roll. Aiming for people, overrated in these conditions. Done. She has Brianna Healy in front of her, gets it. Huge layout from Galani, doesn't get there. O'Sullivan tries to make herself available, but big defensive effort. Van Zyl, and she's got a cannon for a flick. But Choi comes across, brilliant defense. Megan Choi laying out earlier on from behind the back hand block.
This point not short of drama. That was around the back hand block. Great defensive play, but can't get the flick hook off.
So now we have a race to the front corner of the end zone. Good defensive help by GB, but fantastic work with the cutters. Excellent stuff by Kate Daly, becoming a heroine in the closing exchanges of this game. Gets the layout for the score and the win, 6-5.
UCC pulling the cat out of the bag. That was incredible. I actually didn't think they had it in them. I was kind of writing them off, but they stayed with it. The wind picked up, probably suited them a bit more. GB probably took the foot off the gas a little bit there. And yeah, they'd have been disappointed not to be in the final, but we'll have an all-Irish women's final. Gravity taking on UCC.
So, thank you very much for joining us for the semi-final. Coming up next, we will have Ranelagh taking on Alba. The Scottish club team looking to make waves this season, and Ranelagh, of course, well established here in Ireland. I've been Lorcan. Thank you so much for joining me and Liam Grant. We apologise for the technical issues. We're doing everything we can to survive these conditions. Please keep it here, because we will keep bringing you top quality ultimate action here at Siege of Limerick X2.